Good evening, everyone.
Evening,
Sunday Night
all.
Ragchew.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Oh, shoot. Sorry to those folks on Kick. That one evidently is not working tonight. So, okay, there we go. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Rumble. Welcome, everybody.
So, welcome to our new time. How does everyone like the new time? 8:30 rather than 9. How's that work for everyone?
Hey, James, welcome. Yeah, we're going to try to do it earlier. So that since when I first started this, it was only 30, 40 minutes. Now it's going into an hour plus. So I'm going to try to get it done by 9:30, 9:45. But we'll see how it goes. Got a POTA today. Nice. I was doing the Tennessee QSO party today. I got 3 CW contacts. And there were some POTAs out there today, but I don't think I got any. Yeah, 9:30. C for Chris. It'll be better for anyone on the East Coast time.
Right.
Okay. Just want to watch for comments here. Looks like everyone's on YouTube. No one coming in on anything else. All right, guys. Welcome. And again, this is the first Sunday night stream of the month. And this is a special month for this first Sunday night stream of the month because it is National Preparedness Month. So I suggest they have a theme every year. The theme right here is on the page. I suggest clicking that theme and it brings you down here to 2024 theme from ready.gov for this year's month of preparedness. They talk about the previous years as well. But you'll go right in here and look at preparedness graphics and publications. They have all these things to talk about and learn. But we don't want to get into that. I'm just introducing it to y'all. Today is the first day of National Preparedness Month. Other 11, we're on 17 meters. Nice. Michael and I have not decided on a day, but hoping that this will be the first month we do a joint POTA together and start streaming or recording some POTA.
Weather's finally starting to cool down. In fact, I just experienced a little rain for the first time in months for me. Yeah, I think it rained northwest of me earlier this past week, but Paul, you may have gotten some rain. I did not.
We got a little bit. Not much. I don't think anything today, really. Got some yesterday.
I seen weather reports where they were excited that they got 0.06 inches at DFW Airport. So
nice. For those interested in the Cantenna, I got back this week and brought home some. So can make a bunch of 220 or 430 megahertz antennas here. So I may just start collecting them, and then as I meet people, hand them out to whoever wants them, just to play around with them. But we got aluminum cans here too. Get a can and see what you can do with it. It's a fun project. But I talked with Nodio a little bit, and he explained some things on how I was misusing the antenna, not even thinking that I was connecting that little element to the center pin, and it's supposed to be connected to the shielding. So we'll play around with it more, but that's probably why I didn't get 430 megahertz as it was advertised. I did put out the compilation. It was around 300. It was around 3 hours of video getting to the ham fair and in the ham fair, and I condensed it to 33 minutes with a little bit of speeding up. So take a look at that. Welcome, Andy. Always good to see you, brother. Hopefully I'm not cutting into the live stream. I just left Jason's Labor Day live stream, so I think they're going a little late. So preparedness month, guys, and I know I think it was February, maybe March. I did a little bit on water, but just reading these articles lately, and just literally in the last week, about U.S. government warning about hackers that are actually they know are carrying out hacks and testing some of our water systems, which everything now is connected online, right? I'm not sure why they don't, and I gotta understand the systems better. I know my local city is connected and they can do things remotely, but I'm just wondering why they don't take those things offline and do some kind of cycling where it's not accessible 24/7. We got water guys that can, run around and test and do things. I'm not sure why they have to keep them online 24/7, but that's another topic, another day. But there is the National Advisor, Security Advisor, Jake Sullivan. They have been announcing that they know that hackers are accessing these. There's a lot of ideas of why they're doing this, state sponsored potentially, and some that they know are from China or potentially testing and preparing for some kind of widespread attack, perhaps to occupy us when there's some other war or tensions between, say, Taiwan and China or other states. They may start something and shut down water systems and cause other kind of mayhem. But sorry, guys, I tried to get the ad blocker in here. It looks like it got some of the ads, but not some of the videos. So anyway, these attacks have the potential to disrupt the critical lifeline of clean and safe drinking water, as well as impose significant cost on affected communities. And then we look at places like Flint, Michigan, places here in Texas where we've had to we've gotten bursted pipelines or this and that, where you have to boil water, you have to treat water. So you never know, guys, what's going to happen. So I just wanted to get back to this. After we go through some of this information, I want to issue a challenge to everybody this Preparedness Month. And I think water is probably the most critical thing that we survive on, right? You can go longer without food than you can with water, I believe, right? Oh, the pond would be great, Don.
Any resource you got, Don. Any resource you have.
Yeah, and in the comments, guys, lay down what you feel comfortable putting up on the internet. This is on the internet. So put down comments, suggestions, ideas, maybe a news article you may have read. But tonight, let's just go through this real quick, and then I'll get to the challenge, and I'll show you what I'm challenging myself. And Michael's going to highlight some of the stuff he's got, and we'll try to get some ideas and thoughts rolling. And hopefully by the end of this month, everybody will have a little more robust water storage supply or system for their families.
So Chris has a quick question before we move on, Paul.
Go ahead.
A dehumidifier. My
Great
understanding
idea.
that is it.
Yes, it is.
So explain how you would process that. Would you add drops of bleach over so many gallons of it, or what would you do with dehumidified water?
Well, as long as your device is clean, this is strategy of Paul. This is not CDC or any kind of professional. This is what I would feel comfortable doing, and I'll talk about water treatment options later, because it's basically moisture out of the air. It's not distilled water that takes heat, but in my mind, the moisture out of the air is for the most part clean. Now it can get dust particles and potentially, I guess, virus and other particles if it's in the air, but I would trust treating that with just chlorine or iodide or some type of water treatment system. Potentially even some of the filtering systems out there, ceramic filters that do the 99.9%. I'd probably feel comfortable, or worst case, boil it.
And you still want to make sure you put minerals in it. And this is why distilled water is not healthy to drink. Distilled water is just plain water without any minerals or any electrolytes in it. And the problem is if you drink distilled water, um, your body is going to automatically balance itself. All the minerals that are in your body is going to bounce with the distilled water. So, and then when you urinate, all those minerals are going away. So it's actually harming your body because you're lowering the stuff that you need for your body to function. And that's the problem with distilled water. So that was my concern with using something like that. You do want to be hydrated, but you don't want to drain all your minerals in the same process. But there you go, trace mineral drops. I've had something like that in the past. I just haven't seen it on the market in a while.
As you can see here, this is not a paid advertisement, but this is what I use. I purchased it a year ago. I don't use it all the time. I put this in my, I get water from, I've got the, what's that called? Not under the sink. It's the little water container. You get hot, cold, and regular water, and it's self-contained unit. You put the 5-gallon thing underneath. I get that from Kroger, Walmart. It's filtered and UV'd and everything 5 different ways. It's about the most filtered water, osmosis. But like Michael was saying, similar to distilled, you're not getting any of the minerals. You've got to be careful with this and use the recommended and maybe even a little less, because it does make the water taste. If you put in too much, it definitely has too much of a minerally taste. But for me, this was, they don't sell it anymore. Well, that's
I was going to
crazy.
say, I was looking for the price there. That's why I blew the screen
That's
up.
too bad. I'm sure there's others, guys. So if you get filtered water, or if you have reverse osmosis or any kind of filtration, look into some kind of mineral drop. A lot of them are alkaline. Alkaline is a good thing to add as well, which is basically what Smart Water brand is. It's an alkaline water. Bodies tend to, they say, this is just stuff I've read. This isn't anything medical or anything. They tend to say that cancer and other diseases are difficult to flourish in alkaline bodies as opposed to acidic. Some articles I've read have attributed a lot of the diseases and things we have, especially here in America, to our diets, because the United States diet is so acidic. So look into trace mineral drops for filtered water, and some type of alkaline drop as well. You can find those as well. Some of them I think are combined. Here's a pretty good one. Look at this. I'm not saying I've tested this, but sea minerals. I'm wondering if they get this from that Great Salt Lake. Look into, I did this years ago, look into the trace minerals that are in seawater and how it relates to the trace minerals in our body. I remember buying a drink that was trace minerals from seawater. I'm not saying it's this one, but it was something similar to this. Was the exact trace minerals. I think it was 11 or something trace minerals that our body has. So it's a good thing to look in as well, just for overall health and treating water that you may have treated, and in just day-to-day water and emergency situations.
So
I
to
may look
answer,
into this later. I'm going to save that.
yeah, and if you buy one, you might buy a few, and I'll partner up with you on that.
Yeah, we'll take a
James
look
has
at
got
it.
a question. Would a one-day vitamins help with the distilled water? James, I'm going to say no as far as the minerals that your body needs. A lot of times and I take one-a-day vitamins. Those cover the vitamins, but they don't necessarily cover all the trace minerals. I mean, obviously, we can't live on vitamins alone. Wouldn't that
Yeah,
be nice?
let me go back to this, because what he's saying is true. So a lot of multivitamins, and first of all, I know I've read things where people, a lot of people say, "Oh, the supplements don't work," or this and that, the body this and that. Well, I've used supplements and I've tested my blood before and after over a 3 and a 6 month period. I'm about to do it again at a 9 month period next month or this month. They do work. So if you look at this, magnesium chloride, sodium, potassium, sulfate, and boron especially, a lot of times magnesium, I've noticed, is not in a lot of multivitamins. I actually buy magnesium separate, even though I get a high, good quality efficacy, efficacy, if I'm saying that right, multivitamin. Um, it's a really high quality one, and it doesn't contain boron. That company actually sells a separate magnesium and boron supplement. So you might look into that. Check your multivitamin. If it has it, then that's a good thing. And again, here, 90 milligrams is 21%. Again, I'm not a doctor. I don't know any kind of
Mhm.
best percentages. There's a lot of YouTube videos on with doctors actually telling you these kind of things. So, like Michael was saying, check your multivitamin. They don't always contain the trace minerals. They might contain vitamins and minerals, but the trace minerals tend to be a little bit different than what's in most multivitamins.
And I don't take the high end vitamins like Paul's describing there. I'm actually just taking the Equate brand of Centrum Silver because I'm over 50. Uh, but uh, but Paul, I'm definitely interested. If you buy that off of Amazon, I might want to buy one for you on that.
I'll just show you. I'll just show you real quick, guys. I'm not saying this is the best one for you. This is what I've found. I've been using for almost 2 years. The Pure Encapsulation brand. It's very high quality, non-GMO, gluten-free, vegetarian. For people that may have dietary things. Um, this is one a day, so $45. This seems cheaper than what I paid. $45 for 2 months, basically, guys. It's not horribly expensive. And let's go over it real quick, and you'll see here. Um, let's see if I click on that, if it stays. Okay, there. So it's got the basic vitamins, right? The A, B, C, D, thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, all good for various aspects. I've been reading the last month or so, guys, look into vitamin D along with magnesium. It requires magnesium to work. Um, a lot of articles I've been reading on how important vitamin D is for practically everything in your body. So I
Right.
suggest looking into that. This is becoming a nutrition stream, but again, guys,
It's a good segue though. It
yeah,
really is.
we can give experience. I'm
Yeah.
not advocating. I'm not selling this
So
product. This is a product I
so
use. Find the one that works best for you.
So let me just discuss vitamin D right quick because I had a conversation with my doctor on this. Uh, we loaded up on vitamin D when my son got COVID, and he got on the first strain, so it was a while back. And but I started taking vitamin D, and I said, well, you know what? It's not a big deal. I just throw it in my pill caddy. And my doctor's like, why are you taking vitamin D in addition to your pills? She says, you know, you can take too much vitamin D. And
Yep.
so we had a good discussion. Now, during the winter months, vitamin D is probably good, even if you're outdoors a lot. I probably need to add it because I've been indoors most of the summer because it's too hot in Texas. And I have been getting out in life as much as I should have been. And so I'm probably a little vitamin D deficient. But because the sun is a great generator of that. But wintertime, the sun is not providing as much vitamin D, so it wouldn't hurt to go ahead and take that as an additional supplement. But she warned of taking it all the time, especially if I'm outdoors. You can get too much of it apparently. Uh, so just
Hmm.
something my doctor had a discussion with me on, and I will put it in my regimen whenever the winter time comes, because the sun's different in the winter than it is in summer. So, boy, that's a big
Yep.
tangent, Paul.
Yeah. What you guys are saying, and I might do a separate video on nutrition to show you guys, and I will show you the numbers um, for triglycerides, bad cholesterol, good cholesterol, and what I've found works. And it is a supplement. I have not changed any kind of exercise. I have not changed diet. I'll just tell you right now, the first 3 months of testing, one of those things was a good quality fish oil. There's two other items I use. I dropped my um, bad cholesterol 18 points in 3 months, and that was only using half the daily dose. I've been doing the full daily dose the last 3 months. Um, I might be wrong off 3 months on that. I started in February. So anyway, I'll be testing the blood again with a full dose at a 6 or 9 month. I think it's the 9 month point now, and I'm fully expecting to have dropped at least 40 points or more. I worked with someone. She heard me talking to someone else about this at work. She interjected and said I've used the same method, and she dropped 89 points in her bad cholesterol. So I will
Wow.
make a video on that, guys, after my next test, and I'll show you the receipts. I'll show you the numbers.
I
Um,
definitely am interested. And Don, always defer to your doctor because some people are naturally have a low vitamin D, and
yeah,
it's always important. But that's neat that he's actually testing you for that too. So
Also, I'll say on the vitamin D, Michael was right. I didn't realize there's a doctor on YouTube I listen to a lot. He's got a lot of great information on natural remedies, vitamins, and all that. I took my multivitamin, and then an hour or two later, I took my D3 and got nauseous. And Googled, of course, Google answers everything. Found out that too much vitamin D is not good and can actually make you nauseous. So I don't do that anymore.
Right.
So anyway, here, guys, you can see in my multivitamin, it has some boron, 1 milligram. You see the manganese? That's not magnesium. So you can see that it does not have those trace minerals, and the boron is extremely low amount. I don't know what the daily recommended is. They don't even know. So check your multivitamins, see what you're doing, and then look into trace minerals if you think it's something that might help you.
And Don, I have seen that my former father-in-law, soon to be, he and his wife went on it, and they were eating red meat steak all the time, and everything dropped.
Yep.
But to me, it's an expensive diet, honestly, compared to a lot of other diets. But
I can do another video on that, guys. I've tested the carnivore diet 2 different times, 3 weeks each, and I lost 4% body fat in 3 weeks. It's not a fun diet. You got to be creative, but it does work in certain ways. But these are things, we all have to find out what works for us. What works for one may not work the same for someone else. So on the skin, I do want to say the D3, what Michael was saying, my dermatologist that I've been working with since 2016, I've had some skin issues I don't need to go into, but one of my treatments to keep my skin issue down is light therapy. And that is literally standing in a sun booth of just UVB, of a certain spectrum of UVB, and they increase the light intensity. After I got it all under control and got it at bay, she told me, she said, you don't have to come in. If you went out 3 or 4 times a week in the sun for 10 to 15 minutes, it would do exactly what we're doing here in the booth. So getting some sun, you got to balance that, right? You got to be careful. I've had things cut out of my skin, cancerous stuff and things frozen. So you got to kind of be careful, but she did tell me 10 to 15 minutes, and I'm pretty white. I'm as Bill Burr says in his stand-up, shockingly Caucasian. Hey, Mr. Bud, welcome. Good to see you, Wes.
Welcome. Yeah, I enjoyed your short there. Man, what a campsite to do photo from. That was beautiful.
And, I haven't seen it yet. No spoiler alerts.
Well, you'll have a dinosaur of a good time.
Oh. All right, guys. Let's.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
We're gonna reel it back in from our tangent, but now you've given me some thoughts, and I'll make a couple other videos on some stuff. Definitely check out I think I put this link in the description on YouTube. I don't think it translates to the others. Check this website out for water storage, and refer to this after I issue my challenge, so that you know exactly what you're doing if you don't already know, and how to store, how to label, how to sanitize. Here's a section on sanitizing what you're putting the water in. Even if it's new, you're going to want to clean and sanitize whatever you buy. How to use the water. It's got a ton of information, guys. I'm not going to get into this part of it. I want to get into how I store, what I plan to do for the challenge of myself this month, and some options that I've found and that I know work. And I'm going to give you a link to the name of a YouTuber who put out a recent video from an extremely intelligent guy, because that's his business, is water and water storage. So we'll go to that too. So this link should be in the description. If it's not, I'll put it in afterwards. So let's go to water storage. Michael, if you want to go to this, I'm going to switch to my remote cam, guys, while Michael talks about some stuff he uses for filtering and storage. And let me join, and then I'll I'll meet you guys outside on the other cam while Michael talks.
All right. Well, I don't go as far as Paul goes through. As far as getting um, 55-gallon barrels of good grade barrels full of water, and then he adds, uh, chlorine drops every month. And I'm not that good. What I do, I'm a much lower scale, but I have 10 5-gallon water bottles that I'll rotate through a water cooler. And I probably need to buy a few more just to rotate them through. And so there's 50 gallons right there that I have in case we get a boil notice. The other thing I do, and I know it's not the most politically correct, but I buy cases of water. I'm very active with our Aries group, and one of the things I always tell them is grab a case of water. You don't need it, you know. In the winter months, there's always a case or two of water in my vehicle with me. So each one of those cases, which is like 40 bottles, and it's like $5.36. It's those 16.9 bottles for a 40 pack at $5.36 at the Walmart in Texas. However, I just got a Costco membership. Y'all kind of teased me about it a little bit, but they're selling it for $3.99. So I have plenty of bottled water. I'll usually have about 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 cases of the bottled water, and then the 50-gallon ones, which I used to have a dozen, but they do break over time, especially if you have young family. Another thing that I have as backup, and I bought one for myself, and I eventually bought one for Ryan when he was living when he wasn't living with us. Uh, he was in Louisville, and Louisville issued a boiled water notice. And they lived in an apartment, and they didn't have places to store up water like I do at the house. So I got, let me tilt my monitor down. I got one of these. This is Sawyer gravity filter, and it comes with a bag, and it filters through a hose through this filter here. And it says it'll filter up to 100,000 gallons right here. So that's pretty impressive. And I have 2 of these that use the bag. They also have one that they had a little later on that hooks up to the aerator screw on your sink. So you can actually attach this to your sink and use the city water, or what's supposed to be on a boil notice where they're telling you not to drink or wash dishes with. It'll filter all that out for you, connected right to your faucet. So that's pretty cool. That came out after I got these 2. And of course, I have at least a half a dozen or so of these life straws. And I have not used them yet. I have one in the backpack that I used to go on deployments with. The one thing you got to remember when you use this, you can drink directly from the lake or from a jar. If you get a jar of water, make sure the sediment falls down to the bottom. And then when you drink through this, when you're done, you need to blow through this to get any extra sediment out, and they'll last a lot longer. So just remember, you got to reverse it back out once you're done getting your drink, just to make sure that you get a longer life out of it. And Life Straw has a bunch of different options. They do have the family one, which is similar to what I have here with the Sawyer gravity fill, and they also have what's called the community one. Paul and I were talking, maybe stealing from his presentation here a little bit, but the family one is like this. It's about $51. I bought this maybe pre-COVID or during COVID for $35, and of course, the different economics we're in now. I don't know how much he's run now. These I got in an estate sale. It was a guy who was planning on opening up a prepper business, so I got a half dozen or a dozen. Someone I know gave away a lot of mine, so I'm hanging on to the ones I have left, because you never know when you'll need something like this. I do keep this in one of my backpacks. I probably need to put it in my current go bag. So, Paul?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Looking at your barrels of water there.
All right, guys. This is my water storage. I'm just showing real quick. And as I work my way back in, I want you to look at this. And you guys tell me what is wrong with this picture. There's more than one thing wrong with this picture. But this is what I've got. And then I'll show you, after I issue the challenge, what I'm going to do. All right, I'm going to head back in with Luna. She likes going outside when I go outside. Looking for rabbits.
So Chris is asking, what do you think? Oh, wait. Sorry. Back up a little bit. Lot of comments on the dog here. Don says, by the way, get rain barrels. They're great for gray water storage. Remember, you got to flush your toilets. Chris loves that fluffy puppy. We all love that fluffy puppy.
She's a good 35 pounds, so worst case, I put her down slowly and we survive on her meat for a week.
What are your thoughts on space weather when suntanning during a geomagnetic storm? Okay, Dan, you got that's a little outside my deal, but I'm sure it does affect it.
Yeah, I'm not.
Chris has the big question here. Do you treat that water on a regular basis? I thought about storm water like that can be problematic.
Okay, guys. So what I do is, and this is the month, I do it every September, every preparedness month. I'll go out with a spot flashlight. I will shine that flashlight down in those little bung holes, open them up, shine the flashlight down, and I will look every year to see if there's any discoloring, green, milky, murky, whatever. Now, you are advised to change the water every year. Actually, I think it's every 6 months. I put half a cup of chlorine in each barrel every September. I've had it for 7 years, and I have yet to have cloudy, murky, green, or any discolored water in 7 years. And even if I have that water treated out there, even if it's 6 months old and new water, I'm still going to treat, boil, or filter that water before I use it in an emergency. That's how I treat my water. Half a cup of chlorine, that's more than you're supposed to. And that CDC website will tell you how much for whatever it is you're storing. Okay, so did anybody see what was wrong with that? What was wrong with those barrels?
Well, you had them painted, and you had a bunch of black items on top, which I don't know what those were.
Hold on a sec. Oh, hold on. Shoot. Here we are. Sorry, Wes, I'm trying to find it. Got a message here, guys. I gave an invite and forgot to send the invite. Here we go. So anyway, that's what I do. Those 4 barrels, I've had them for at least, maybe even longer, 7 or 8 years maybe. What I might do this year is, well, let's get to that later. So this is an option. I have these. I've used these on 60 milers with my boys backpacking and in the Scouts up in the Cascade Crest, or not Crest, what's it called? Pacific Crest Trail up in Seattle. We did 60 miles. This is what we used to chlorinate our water. We'd take it out of the rivers. We'd put it in here. I think it was like a 10 or 15 minute wait. One of these chlorinates, and I think the other one takes out the taste. I can't remember.
You want to share that?
I can't remember. Oh, whoops, sorry. There we go.
Here.
We got the man coming in.
We're both messing with it. Hey, Mr.
Welcome,
Bud.
Wes.
Hey guys. Here we get that fixed.
I had invited him in. It's an open invitation, but I forgot to send him the link. Sorry about that, brother.
It's not open. Hey guys, good show. Thanks for putting me on here. I would love to put my 2 cents in on all your stuff too.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'll just go over this. So chlorine, not you want just chlorine water. You don't want flavored or any kind of dyes or fragrances or anything in it. Okay. And you want to do, and that's basically how I do my home storage is just chlorine. That's all I do. I've got in our go bags, I've got the life straws that Michael showed. And I've also got this, which right now is on sale on the Life Straw website. I couldn't find it on Amazon for some reason. And this is right now on their website, 5181. I want to say it does 4,000. Let me look here. 4,755 gallons or 18,000 liters, guys. $51. I've got this steel airtight sealed, never been used.
100,000.
Good time to purchase something like this. So look into these larger filtration systems, smaller things like life straws for go kits and go bags, and then maybe something like these type of. There's quite a few of these type of tablets. There's this Aquamira, which is a little more expensive but very popular brand. This potable aqua tabs are probably the most popular for like Walmart and hiking and backpacking and camping. I've had to throw away so many of these boxes of water because they don't last long, guys. I would avoid those.
So James said bung plug is a technical term. And when Paul said bung hole, I had a Beavis and Butthead flashback.
Yeah, Chris, I almost laughed. I almost did the Beavis laugh when I said that.
Chris Bricker's got a good question here. How do you get the water out? Those are 450 pounds.
Let's go on that, but I don't know if we've talked about something that Wes wants to share on his experience. We've talked about basically CDC, hackers, some ideas on filtering, cleaning. Wes, so feel free to jump in.
Okay, well, hey, I could put my 2 cents in because you wouldn't see it on this beautiful face, but I'm actually a plumber by trade. So
there you go.
So I deal with water. Well, I'm kind of on the air side and all that kind of stuff, but I do dabble in some water stuff once in a while. And I would say if the general public, there's something that's been out for a while. And have you ever heard of a drip system for your house?
I haven't, no.
Okay, so
I don't know if anybody else has.
So if anyone wants to comment, definitely in the comments, comment on it. So a drip system, what they're used for around in our area is the water grid won't have enough pressure to supply a full, let's say 60 or 70 psi to all the houses. So what they do is the incoming pressure comes in and they reduce it down to a drip to about 5 psi, and they put it into a storage tank, and the storage tank is about 600 to 1,000 gallons, and it fills up the tank automatically. Once it reaches the top, it stops filling, and then there's a pressure system on the house, so you're not relying on the pressure of the grid. So what I'm kind of leading up to, a drip system is a great way to have yourself safe water, always constantly being replenished because you're always using it, and you have it on supply. So let's say there's a boil water advisory. What you would do is you would shut off your drip system, obviously, so you don't get that contaminated water coming in. And then you'll have yourself whatever your storage tank is, 500 to 1,000 gallons. Now you got to remember, you don't want to go too big on your tank because you want the water to be used up, right? So they're set up so the float comes on. Let's say it comes up to the top, about 90% of the tank to the top. It shuts off. Then it draws down to about 500 gallons or so, half the tank. Then it comes back on and starts filling up slowly. So it's an excellent way to have a backup source of water. And another thing is, let's say your system, your town site or your city or anything loses water pressure for some reason. There's an emergency and they shut down the water. You have your own pressure system. And if you set it up right, you put it on your generators, whatnot, you can have yourself a hot, nice shower, full pressure when the rest of the area around you is shut down. So that's kind of my 2 cents on.
What would I Google? Do you have? What would I Google to find that?
Yeah, you search drip system. I'll look it up and I'll put it into the comments after the show. So
okay, because what keeps coming up is gardening and irrigation.
I'll look at it. I'm kind of with my phone right now.
So Wes, I'm curious. Do you have this in practice, or?
I don't have it in practice here. I had it in my other place. I set one up. Actually, I did a real redneck type system similar to that. Now, you guys don't get grossed out, or let me explain myself really quickly. I didn't use
Brown
the water
water.
for drinking. Yeah, brown water. No, so I lived in a community where we had constant water breaks, and they'd shut the water down. And it was on quite a grade, so we were at the bottom of the hill. So when they shut the water down, they wouldn't tell anyone. They just shut it off because there's a break. We would still have ourselves about, I would say, about 100 gallons left in the line before it ran out. So as soon as the pressure dropped, I told my wife to fill up the bathtub with water, and she would fill it up. And then I had it plumbed into my house. I had an RV pressure pump, one of those little 12-volt pumps.
Mm-hmm.
I'd basically siphon off the bathtub into the house to allow us to flush our toilets and do stuff, but not, of course, drink it. You don't really want to be taking bathtub water. It is clean, but you know what I mean? We were able to continue on with showering and flushing the toilets and doing dishes. And then at the end of the day, I would do a bleach disinfectant on the whole house. Something you do in your RV. You fill it up with I don't know what it is, a 20% bleach solution. Let it sit for 4 hours in your house, then flush it out, just to be safe, right? It's something you would do anyway after a boil water advisory as well. So
Right.
kind of
Now,
doing two things.
So you're a plumber. So this is a question I've heard. So one of the things when you do that kind of a flush with an RV, you want to cut your hot water tank out of the loop on that, because bleach and hot water tanks don't really mix when it comes to RV water heaters. At least that's what I've heard from the industry. Do you have to do something like that for your home?
It was the water heaters I had. They were either I had a stainless steel one or a glass line, so the bleach would not harm the water tank. In an RV, I don't believe they're lined because the liner wouldn't stay intact during traveling. You know.
Okay, that makes sense.
So
yeah, in fact, they all have to have anode rods because of course, you're going to campgrounds and stuff, and you got some really hard water that will eat that rod. So
it's a couple things. I've done some stuff at my cabin with rainwater collecting, using the carbon the filters up in the eave trough, and collected. And actually, I sustained water for the whole summer at my cabin. I had a 1,200 gallon water tank under the deck, and I was actually giving out water because I would collect so much rainwater. At times, I would be washing my boat off and whatever. I would actually pump and give water to my neighbors out at the cabin because I just had an abundance of water. It's really amazing what you could collect, with the rain.
Yep.
Depends where you live, I guess.
Yeah, if you're in Colorado, you're out of luck. It's illegal to collect the rain.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
you do need to.
We can
need
here.
to check
Texas,
with your city and county. There are places that they want to claim that water on your roof is theirs.
Yeah. There's several states that it is illegal. It's a state law to collect rainwater for personal use.
Because they say it goes into the city supply, so you can't have it. Blah blah blah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's really unfortunate. I mean, wow.
Lot of suggestions in building your own filters in the comments here.
Guys, there's so many filter. What is it? The Berkey?
And I've heard not so great stuff about them too. Paul.
Well, there's you can make it. You can make it yourself to save the money and just buy the filter. I think it's Berkey.
I've heard that the testing wasn't as good as they were claiming on that. That was a big.
See this? I'm not spending that on a Berkey. Sorry.
Yeah.
$367.
This is a big metal thing with 2 filter holders in it. That's all it is.
There's a guy on YouTube that shows you how to do this with a bucket, sand, gravel, and charcoal. 2 buckets.
Yeah.
Sorry. This is how I transfer. I forget if Chris or someone asked. It's just a hand pump. Okay. And that's how I would transfer it out. I would suggest, I just haven't bought one yet. I would suggest this type. If you're going to get more than one, it pumps a lot quicker. Okay. I don't have this, but I purchased 4 of them. I haven't installed them yet. Then you can connect this to a hose and I can use the water. It makes it easier to get rid of, and then refill it every year, every couple of years, or whenever I want to refill it. And there's a couple of YouTube videos that show how to install these. It's very simple. A string dangle it down in the hole you drilled and install it. Okay, not the Berkey.
You know, and Paul, another good avenue is irrigation store for some of your fittings. They have they have all sorts of, I guess that would be called a bulkhead bung, maybe. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm saying bung now.
Yeah, I can't remember what they call it.
They
call it they just call it a rain barrel spigot on this. But you see, I purchased it literally a year ago. I guess this was part of my last year's preparedness. It's still sitting in my garage, guys, unused.
And another thing is a siphon hose would work too. You just siphoning if you don't want to pump away, you know.
So here's something he talked about: saving water. Most of us maybe have seen these water bobs. Fill it up and fills up your water, your tub. It just fills your tub. This is what I bought my kids. All my children get, well, my adult children, all they get now for birthdays and Christmas, their whole family except my grandkids, are preparedness things. It's a bucket of Mountain House food. It's whatever. Wise food. It's this. It's anything to do with preparedness and food storage and stuff like that. Those are easy options. Here's the 55-gallon drums. You can buy them new. They're expensive new. You can buy them used, but you've got to make sure that they are food grade, and you need to know what was in them before you purchase them. The ones I have out and back had soy sauce and aloe vera in them. I still wash them out, even though that company washed them. They were $25 a barrel, guys. It's cheap.
Can you imagine getting a pickle one? That'd be kind of interesting, wouldn't it?
You know what?
Maybe you want to store pickle water.
Pickle's the new thing now, you know. Everybody's pickles under Dr. Pepper now.
You know, it might be a natural disinfectant, you know. It might just be the thing that, that leaches out slowly, the pickle brine.
There's a lot of good things about pickles. You get a cramp, you got some pickle water.
I lost that page. There's a lot of ways to store your water. Some people, I used to have mine in the garage. I don't have them in the garage anymore. They're taking up space. Here's an image of someone who gets the water, the rain runoff. It goes into one. Once it fills up to a certain point, it trickles into the other one. That's a very basic setup. You're going to have to Google, guys, and figure out what works for you. Here's one with a tote and rainwater.
Those ones are great. Those ones, unfortunately, a lot of chemicals are in those ones, so those ones you got to be very careful with.
That's the problem, and you really got to be careful with these.
Just for water. They sound just for water. Some of
they're
those
$300 to $700.
Yeah,
brand new for water.
Now you probably, Paul, you probably don't have this issue, but up here we get kind of cold, and some places I've been at, they actually, it's been around for a long time. They put cisterns in, so they bury
nice.
almost like a septic tank, you would call it, a fiberglass one underground below the frost level, and no one will know you have that water you're collecting. It's actually, you put your eaves troughs to it and you collect all your water, and bang, there you are. Even in wintertime when the water is it does actually melt off the roof in the middle of winter, and it keeps your cistern filled, and it'll keep it from freezing, right? So if you guys could, anyone online has the means to put it in the ground, put it in the ground.
So here's a very simple, cheap example. One thing on this you've got to make sure you do is a very tight screen here to keep mosquitoes out of it. But it basically, rainwater goes into here, and they got a spigot right here. That's as simple as it gets, guys. And then you got more interesting systems like this. You're just going to have to research and find out what works for you. Let's go to my challenge, and then we'll discuss what else we want to discuss, and then finish our stream for the night. But my challenge tonight, and for this year's Preparedness Month, is regardless of where you're at in your water storage, find some way that you can increase it or make it better or make it easier to use, or some way to just make it a better system. So if your whole water storage is 5 bleach bottles that you've used, rinsed out, and filled with water, which you can do, and that's good for a year, store 2 more, store 1 more, add to it, or add a 33 gallon barrel, or a 55-gallon barrel, or something to increase your rain collection, your water storage, treatment. filtration, anything. Find one thing to increase it. That's my challenge. And the problems that I had with my barrels, I don't know if anyone said it or not. When I looked, I didn't see it. I tried painting the barrels brown. Sunlight is an enemy to water storage. So 2 things I'm going to do. One is I'm going to get the 22 millimeter, really heavy duty waterproof black tarp, and I'm going to be covering them. And I'm going to do 2 things actually this year. I have found a company that's not too far that sells the 275 gallon potable water totes. And I called them and they say they do have stickers still on that shows what was in them. They clean them once, but I will clean it again. This 275 gallon tote is $140.
So the food grade tote is more than all your barrels. Yeah. So I've got it's probably going to go right where I was standing, showing you guys the video, but I'm going to get that. When I was in Seattle, I didn't have as big a concern for storing a lot of water because you got water all the time. Water was readily available. Doesn't mean it's not going to be contaminated, but I wasn't as worried as I am now in Texas. Those are my things, guys. I'm going to do those 2 things. Well, a third thing, I'm going to install these bunghole spigots. So what do you guys think in chat? What can you do? What you feel comfortable putting on the internet in chat? Throw out some ideas and things that you want to do that you might work on and get it done by the end of September. That's my challenge.
All right. What do we win, Paul? What do we win? I got an idea. I got an idea what we could win. It'd be
excellent.
The greatest price.
Go for it.
To be adopted as one of your adult childs for a year. And we get a birthday present, something.
I'm trying to figure that one out.
You know what? I might have to start doing that. I only do 1 preparedness video a month.
You have
look into something.
I did 12 adult children to buy presents for.
I did it.
Yeah.
No,
it could be it'll be a survival blanket or something, just something. But we're
49 cent 49 cent Mylar blanket.
I got a few of those.
But it would have your autograph on it.
You volunteer with a government entity through a CERT program or something. You find that you collect a bunch of those. That and hand sanitizer. You get a lot of hand sanitizer.
So I'm gonna. You guys saw my water setup. They're on uneven ground. The dirt has shifted. They're not covered, and there's no spigot. So retrieving the water and using the water is difficult. So in a month, well, I better give myself a couple months because I'm giving myself 3 things I'm challenging. I'm going to try to add the spigot, drain the water, add the spigot, add the water, and cover them in black. And then on top of that black to protect the tarps from the sun, because the Texas sun literally destroys everything. I'm going to put plywood on top of the tarp just to protect them from the sun. Chris, I could adopt you, man. You shout out my channel all the time in other streams, and I appreciate it, especially since that ham fair. I do appreciate that. I am doing I don't know if he said it or not. Tank's invited me to a Tuesday night. I don't know if it's a video or a stream. So I'm doing something with Tank. And I'm hoping sometime this month, sooner rather than later, I told him it's up to him. And he offered to have Ray Novak from ICOM on an interview and get him on.
Oh, nice.
And we'll discuss our trip. We were separate, but we did meet. I got to meet him, talk about our trips to the ham fair and Japan. So hopefully that's coming up in the next month.
Nice. And Paul, you're invited I guess it's September now, end of the month. Simon and I are going to be doing a live stream, and we're going to be doing disaster communications with,
sweet.
With SodaMate. We're going to have Brian, the founder of SodaMate, on our show, and we're going to talk. We're going to talk all about off-grid communications and all that kind of fun stuff. And we have a little surprise for the Discord, what we're going to be doing involving that.
Sweet.
So you're invited over to come chat.
Awesome. I am by no means a pro in anything I discuss. My channel is about me, my experiences in radio, my experiences in preparedness. information I found. I'm just sharing and gathering you guys when you in chat, and like Wes has joined the video. We share information and try to help each other as a community, both in ham radio and preparedness, to get prepared. So hopefully this is helpful. And I know, like I said earlier, I talked about water earlier in the year. I just was reading these things and really want to reiterate, get your water going, guys. It can be non-expensive, and just get something going. Even if it's some bleach bottles in the garage, 133-gallon barrel, something, just get it going. What is ale? Like beer? Ale?
You done ale?
I don't have ale stored.
You should.
Well, I don't drink, but it's a bartering item, I would imagine.
Yeah. Well, exactly. You could probably get a lot of water for a beer.
Another thing that's cool to look into, I did in my Boy Scout days, is there's various ways to collect water, not just rainwater. You can collect it. One is what was mentioned earlier, the dehumidifier. That is a way to collect water if you're in a state like Texas. You can let that run and collect some water. There's other ways to collect water by digging a pit, putting a tarp with a collection can in the pit under the tarp and a rock in the center. The moisture will collect, and it's a very slow way, but it is a way. There's a lot of ways, guys, to look into and figure out how to collect water in emergencies, but storing water is the easiest way. Automatic link establishment. I have no idea what that is.
Something looks like a show.
I think that's a whole nother show. And if one of you guys want to come on, I'd love to have you on and discuss anything that you guys feel is relevant, either radio or preparedness. And I will look for, Wes, that link, and then I can put it in the description maybe later on the drip system, because mine was just pulling up irrigation.
Yeah. It's scary when you Google something, what's going to come up.
Google's trying to prevent me from being water prepared.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at this one. Look at this setup right here, guys. This is cool. Check this out. Oh, dang it. I wanted it bigger. Can you guys see that? Small, but he's got a tote with a flat top roof that collects the rainwater into the tote just all by itself, freestanding. That's hilarious. Okay, guys, that's pretty much all I have for tonight, I think. So take the challenge. Oh, I totally forgot. Go to this guy, Dirty Civilian. He had this guy on from Kana Water, or no, Kana, what is it? Kana-provisions.com, this guy here. They sell provisions. He knows all about water. Go to this emergency water supply plan for any budget video and check it out. He gives a lot of great information on water storage, treatment, all that. And on his website, you can click on this. It's free to plan your worksheet. The same thing is on ready.gov. Adults, it talks about children, how many gallons per day, if you have any extra people to help you plan how much water you need for how long you want to be prepared. So check that out. It's also, like I said, on ready.gov. All right. Anything else, guys?
No, that is all. Thanks for having me on the show tonight. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Anytime you see me put something up or you have a topic, you guys are welcome to come on. This is, the Ragchew crew isn't just me and Michael or me or any individual, or it's a group of us. So if you want to get on, join the Ragchew crew and check it out, guys. I've been working on stickers. I'm just going to have it. I made stickers in my wife's Cricut or whatever that thing is with sticker stuff, but I don't think this kind is going to last very long. So I'm working on stickers, working on patches, and I'll start getting those out as well to anybody that joins. Kana-provisions. But the website, but the YouTube channel is Dirty Civilian. So just the title is right here, Emergency Water Supply Plan for Any Budget, and it's Dirty Civilian YouTube channel. I don't know who this guy is. I came across it, and some great information. So what are y'all going to do? Does anybody put in chat what they're going to do?
I'll probably get a
Chris,
couple more 5-gallon bottles for my system for what I'm doing.
Okay. Looking up here to see if I've missed anything. Yeah, D did make a comment, so it's important. Something can say food grade, but they may have put, there may have been something in it. You should really be careful. A lot of things you can smell.
Some great things discussed.
Yeah, I think that's it. I don't see much else.
That drip system, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, looking forward to that, Wes. Thanks for sharing. I will put that link that he gives me in the description on the YouTube.
And Wes, you want to share your channel with us?
Oh yeah, here, we got it. I think we still got it up here.
There. I don't think I'm in mid to put it on, but Mr. Mud's Ham Radio time, all about ham radio and all kind of fun stuff. It's on the screen.
I'll pull it up.
Now, is there any way to extract water from your vehicle carpet? Because I just realized I rolled my windows down when we were grilling earlier, and we got a rain shower. So my carpet's a little wet in my truck.
Yeah, I don't think you want to have that carpet water. I don't know if you want to do that one.
Yeah, check out his channel. I've got to check out that recent video. What was that last one I saw? Oh, that was with Josh. I saw that one. Let's see. Which short were you talking about, Michael? Oh, is that a freaking elk?
Was that you with the photo activation? I may have gotten somebody else, and I do apologize if I got it mixed up.
I know.
Let me check my phone because I got a comment back, so that may not be
milk and vinegar bottles. Yeah, I don't know if I'd use milk and vinegar bottles for water, but there I am.
Coming soon, stealth POTA camping.
Yeah, the video's out now. I tried something. I set up all my POTA gear, FT8 in the truck, and then I just remote desktoped into my truck, and I sat by the fire and did all my family stuff in stealth mode. So it was fun. Yeah. So yeah,
I'm behind on your videos, obviously.
Yeah, I got a few.
Here it is, right here, FT8. You know what's weird is I'm not getting notifications. Like here, you can see I've got the bell, and I've got the same thing for Jason's Ham Radio 2.0, and I never got the notification that he was live streaming. I was 35 minutes late. I joined it. I'm like, where is my notification?
Yeah, it's kind of buggered up sometimes.
So check him out, Michael at Getting Out in Life. Posted one today. He went to FC Dallas football or soccer game.
Yeah, Field Club
perhaps
Dallas.
Perhaps football for Wes. I don't know. Do Canadians call it football?
Or
like
soccer.
The rest of the world?
Football. Yeah. It's not soccer. It's
like
football.
the rest of the world. It makes so much more sense. You're literally kicking it with your feet, and that's all you can do. So it's kind of funny that we call it football.
But the British were the ones that coined that term, and as soon as they figured out the Americans were doing it, they're like, "Oh, we're not going to use that term anymore." They can have it. And I want to know how the word soccer came to be. What is the etymology of that?
No idea.
It's so different from football,
Maybe it was rougher when it started, and they were like punching each other. So they were like back then they called it socking each other. So they soccered. I don't know. Who knows why they come up with this stuff?
Yeah.
Why would our football, American football, why would it be called football? How often do you kick it? To start it, to punt for an extra point, but it should be pass ball or I don't know, something else. But
James, I do have a little green machine, but I don't think it's enough to that. It was a nice gentle rain, but I just now realized I opened up the left side of my windows to air out my black vehicle. I have a black Ford Explorer, and it likes to absorb the heat. And I'm like, I need to give it a little heat relief. And we grilled and sat out there for a long period. It rained a little bit, and we didn't even think about it until just now. So
I showed those earlier.
It'll dry itself out pretty quick.
I've been collecting my little aluminum Japanese energy drinks.
I saw that video, and that's cool.
For the for the antenna. I got, this is a 220 and it's supposed to be 430, I think. But I tuned it to 220, and so I was actually getting on the 220 with that. So I'll be playing with some of those cans. And
I played with some Pringle cans doing that. It's kind of fun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't.
Wait, are yours? Our Pringle cans are cardboard. Are yours?
They're cardboard with
metal?
A metal inside. There's metal.
And that's enough.
Yeah, well, I watched a video years ago on Wi-Fi directing, and you could direct your Wi-Fi. You could put your antenna inside of a Pringles can, and you could do it directional like Yagi.
Oh my gosh, interesting.
Yeah. I've heard those are well tuned for Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So if you do it right, you could kind of. Well, I've been playing. Not that I've been successful on it. I just tell you, every video I make, there's 10 attempts to make a video.
I don't. I need to spend more time doing videos. I just don't. I'm relying on live streams, but there's so many things I want to do. I've got a couple things in my box. Well, I don't want to say what it is because it'll give it away, but I want to try this antenna. It's a 35 roll of something that I want to give it a try. Yeah. I just haven't made the time to do it.
Well, that's part
getting
of
out in live
videos. There it is.
Yeah. So that's my latest video there, but the field day video is a lot of fun. And that gentleman right there, if you're interested in the CW or the history of it, and he's got a lot of knowledge on POTA as well. He actually holds 2 call signs just like Paul does. He's got a Brazilian call sign and an American call sign. So
just submitted my annual application today via email to the Japan Amateur Radio League. They do everything for you. I send 3,000 yen, which is about $22, and they send the hotel that I stay at the license. So just did that today.
Nice.
You know, I think that would be kind of a cool thing to have 2 call signs from 2 different countries, but. I don't know.
Can you tune a fish? Can you tune
got a bit good. Got a news over there.
Oh, what was the movie?
But I haven't tried fish. I tried a hot dog for an antenna. It kind of didn't work.
I can't remember the movie, Dan. That was in a movie, and I used to be good at movie lines.
But last I saw somebody play an AM radio using a hot dog. He stuck the hot dog right next to the antenna, the transmitting antenna.
Yeah.
And it worked quite well.
Well, yeah, if it doesn't have salt in it, maybe.
I bet Wes tries to make a cue off a fish now.
Yeah, I will try. I've tried a lot of things.
Would that be Marine Mobile?
Marine Mobile. Well, very cool, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for joining us. Wes, thanks for joining. Sorry I didn't get you that link sooner.
Oh no problem. I was doing some stuff for around the house, and I was like, "Oh, geez, I gotta get on the stream here." So it's all good. It's all good.
And I know Jason's stream went a little longer. They had a bunch of guys in there. So again, you know, it's open. Anybody have a topic they want to come in and talk about? Radio. First Sunday is preparedness. Let me know in Discord. I'll get you the link. Join us, and we'll have a good time talking about whatever topic we want to talk about and improving our knowledge in ham radio and preparedness. So I appreciate it. I like this community. That's why I started this. Dude, Ham Fair got me 140 subscribers, pushed me over the edge for ads, super chats. So that's going to be a couple of weeks coming. And I think it was 1,800 viewing hours over the weekend for that, thanks to that live stream and the 3 videos I posted. So
nice.
I'm excited. It worked out. That's what I was hoping it would do, and it did. And so look forward to interview with Ray Novak sometime later this month, perhaps next month, and then the next week's live stream as well. Wes, do you have something coming up this week that you got coming out?
What am I doing? Well, I'm going to put out a video of something I was going to do, and it didn't do what it was supposed to, so it kind of took a turn. So
that never happens, does it, Paul?
But that's what's interesting about your channel. Is all the stuff you do, man.
Yeah, this thing over there was supposed to help me out, and the thing over there wrecked it. So the video became the star over here. Yeah, it's very complicated. Watch video.
All right.
I'll drop it on Thursday.
All right, Michael. Next Sunday, you've got a plan yet, or do you know what you're doing?
I don't have a plan yet, unless you're up for something this weekend.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, Michael and I are going to start to try to do once a month POTA together, and because I want to do POTA more, and just an opportunity for us to get out and enjoy the weather now that it's cooler. Probably end of September we'll start, hopefully.
Yeah, we're doing that, and we're tossing some other ideas out. Paul kind of sent me a text and saying, "Hey, next time you do this, let me go along." So,
yep, we're gonna do some stuff.
We got some.
Not just
we
ham
got
radio.
a lot of ideas. We got a lot of ideas. It's just getting them implemented. So
that's it. Thanks everyone for joining us. 73s. Say goodbye, and if you want to hang out after, I'll do the farewell little clip, and if you want to hang out, I'll end it early, and we'll chat before we close down. But that's it for the stream. 73 guys.
take care, y'all.
Hey guys.